Hey guys, what is up? This is iCrazyTeddy and welcome back to another video here on my channel today. Now, the gameplay isn't really too important, it's just going to be running in the background, and for the most part, this first clip really did piss me off. I had literally one of the most incompetent teammates going, and thank God I've cut out the first half of this gameplay or this mission because this guy was an absolute clown. And you're going to see at the end of this GTA 5 segment that I have before I roll some COD gameplay that the mission was actually failed right at the end. I'm not going to tell you guys how, you'll probably see, but is it just my luck or do I just end up with the shittiest and the worst teammates ever? I'm not sure why. Whatever game I play, I always end up with clueless clowns that literally have no idea what's going on. Now, today I'm bringing you guys a story video. And before you guys comment, Teddy, you're out of video ideas, so you're bringing us a story video. Well, that's true. You're out of ideas. GTA is dead. You fucking money whore. And I'm not gonna lie, but the past responses on my story videos have actually been pretty sick. I think the previous one I did was how I fly kicked my teacher, which was pretty crazy. That was an awesome story. I'll link that down below in the description if you guys actually want to check it out. That one is a cut commentary, but for this one I'm actually sitting down and I'm going to be telling you guys about a time which in my life was some of the happiest couple of days. So this was during a massive snowstorm that hit the UK. It was probably like 3-4 years ago maybe. Yeah, it's probably about 4 years ago from now. I don't know the exact date, but by now you guys must have lived through at least one snowstorm, right? Unless you live in the Gobi Desert or some crazy shit like that. But yeah, for the most part, when a snowstorm hits, school is actually closed. And like I said, this is why I mentioned these are the happiest days of my life, and me and a bunch of other dudes that I used to chill with. And I think this was reportedly one of the biggest snowstorms that had ever hit the UK at the time. Actually, I think it still is, so some of you guys might remember what I'm talking about if you're from the UK, but that's besides the point. So school's closed. I was a teenager, like I think I was like 14 at the time or 15, and I've got a bunch of friends I used to play football with and a couple of others in my area that we literally used to hang out with almost every single day and literally just mess about. Now knowing me, I was ready to play video games for like 20 hours straight, you know, Simpsons Sit and Run on the PS2, San Andreas, all those crazy ass games. But since the weather forecast had actually been predicted that these couple days were actually going to happen, I was told in advance by my mom that I wasn't going to be able to, you know, sit inside and play video games all day, that I had to do something productive outside with my friends. And, you know, typically kids would be making snow angels, I don't know, snowmen, having snowball fights, but me and my friends, we took it to the next level. So we kind of live in a grove, and to get into our grove there's like this big ass long road. So what we had done for literally 2 days straight was posted out at the edge of the grove, and literally there was 15 of us holding snowballs, and as cars would go past we would start pelleting them and just bombing them with snowballs. Now during this time on our little post on our stand protecting the grove, we actually came into contact with a bunch of crazy people, okay? There's a bunch of fun times that we had of people stopping their car in the middle of the road because there was barely anyone driving, you know. There was like a state of lockdown in Birmingham or whatever, I don't know. It was risky to take out your car, but there was a couple cool cats. People would stop their car in the middle of the road, a bunch of people would jump out and throw snowballs back at us, but there was a couple freaky lunatics out there, and some of them I don't blame, because looking at like 10 to 12, like 14, 13-year-old just pelleting your car with a bunch of snowballs, holding blocks of ice, covering it with snow, and then throwing it at people's cars, which I definitely do regret doing, because on the first day of this snowstorm, I actually managed to break someone's car wing mirror, which is like the side thing that allows you to see, you know, behind the car. I'm not sure what I was thinking actually doing this, but there's just a bunch of guys, you know. I decided to grab a block of ice for some reason. I showed it to one of my friends, and he was like, dude, don't throw that, don't throw that. So I pretended to put it away. What I really did was I covered it with a bunch of snow, pretended like it was a normal snowball, lobbed that shit at a car, boom. It's actually a black cab or a taxi, and you know, we thought everything was fine. It kept driving after it got pelleted by snow, and the driver didn't really seem too upset or anything, but moments later we saw the car do a U-turn and turn back around and started coming towards us, and we dipped back into the grove. And since of course this is a place that we live, we of course knew the best hiding spots, and we camped out in the best ones for the next 30 minutes or 45 in the snow, like in the craziest hiding spot. Since we were young and we played tag and hide and seek and shit like that, we knew exactly where to go. There was a protocol in case, you know, anyone ever chased us, and that hopefully one day I'll get on to telling you guys. But we camped out there for a while. It got really cold, and this car was literally circling around the grove. Eventually one of my friends actually got caught. The guy grabbed him by the neck and he asked, "Take me to your parents." Thankfully, the whole situation died down because one of my friend's mothers actually came out and she was like, you know, they're only kids, they were messing about, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if she gave him money to actually fix the car, but I guess he just wanted to speak to an adult and find out what the hell was going on. So now the guy who got grabbed and almost choked out, the funny thing is he wasn't even part of the group that we were in. Like, he was there, he was throwing snowballs before, but in this instance, you know, I'm the one who threw this crazy ice block onto the dude's car, not knowing what to expect, and this guy kind of took the fall. So yeah, I guess I got away with that one. Now, the next incident that happened, yes, we didn't even stop. We had vandalized someone's property, we had broken something of someone's. 20 minutes later, another car was going past. Now, keep in mind, they were driving really slow because it was very icy, very slippery on the road, and the snow was freaking huge and piled up. So all these cars are driving with caution. Now, some black woman pulled up in a small ass smart car. You guys might know what that is. You know, it's a 2-seater car, pretty small, and what she actually did was she stopped mid-road just outside the Grove. She pulled down her mirror and she said, "I dare you guys, I freaking dare you guys to throw snowballs at my car and you just watch what I do." And some of the guys who I was with was literally looking at each other laughing, thinking, what the hell does this woman think she's doing? Like, she's gonna get messed up. While the others were like, holy shit, is she being serious? Like, what, is she gonna call the police? What can she actually do? And one of the bigger guys who was with us did a countdown and he was like, yo, get ready to throw your snowballs on 3. He's like, 3, 2, 1, boom. We all unleashed snowballs right onto this smart car. This woman did not take this shit lightly, okay? She warned us. She was like, don't throw that shit. And for a second, there was like a standoff. We were staring into each other's souls. She was literally looking right through our freaking souls, a whole group. She was swearing at us, saying, I know what you guys are doing here, and talking all this smack, and then boom, 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 boom. 10 snowballs hit her car. We pick up more and throw them again. And all of a sudden, we see her car spinning around, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Is she crazy? Like, is she mental? And then the car starts driving towards us. And we're like, yo, she can't exactly crash us, right? Like, that's some illegal shit right there. But no, it keeps going closer and then closer and closer until it almost hit one of the homies right in the leg. And we were literally dipping down the road back into the Grove. We were like, freaking retreat. Everyone is running, screaming, shouting. We noticed a couple of parents actually posted outside their homes watching the whole thing. And this woman, in her mind, was playing bowling with human lives. We were like pins in a bowling alley and she was a big ass ball. She was trying to crash people. At one point, she almost ran over 4 guys who were kind of running up the hill which leads into our Grove, because it's kind of like a slope from the long ass road. And she was going from left to right until Ev ran into a park. And then it felt like we were playing pinball because she was going from left to right, A to Z, like a bull in a freaking china shop, trying to hit anything and everything she could. Most of us were laughing, the ones that got away, but the others who weren't as fast, who got caught up in the snow or were being chased down by this car, were shit scared. Now, 3 to 4 minutes into this whole malarkey and scene, the woman had just about had enough and she put down her window once more and she screamed, I fucking hate you all. We had no idea who she was, she had no idea who we were, but this was some crazy shit that just happened. After that, she just drove down the hill, drove away, and we never saw her again. Thankfully, none of the homies got run over, no one died or anything like that. There were no fatal accidents. I remember one of the guys who was actually being chased by a car, he was like, what are you gonna do with a smart car? Are you gonna run over my big toe? And from him saying this, she was so pissed at the time. But yeah, that was just day 1 of the massive snowstorm that hit us in the UK a couple of years ago. I might make a video on day 2 depending how the support on this video goes. So if you guys like this video and you'd like to see more stories, then be sure to leave a like. Just before the video finishes, I want to mention that we were very immature during this. We didn't care for anyone. You know, we were just out there messing about, having a good time while school was closed and trying to make the most of it. And this story actually goes up until day 2. There was no day 3. Everyone literally stayed in that day because what happened in day 2, someone got hurt really bad, and we wanted to reflect and think, how the hell did pelleting cars with snowballs lead to someone getting hurt pretty bad? If you actually want to check out my previous story video, which you may have missed, it was like 2 months ago, I believe it's called How I Fly Kicked My Teacher. Check that out down below in the description. Once again, leave a big thumbs up, subscribe, and peace out.